The truth no one else is telling you. This one decision could save your business.
All right. Mr. Matt, we're live again.
Hey, cool. I didn't see it, but I guess we are. Hey, we're back at 3 o'clock too, or 3:30.
Yeah, we're back on track.
Nice.
Gotta get some theme music. Oh, we're 2 minutes early. Like some Rocky music when we jump on these.
You got to get some music, and then I guess I got to get a neon light in the back of my thing. And you used to have a neon light. What happened to it?
Well, in the office, I still have that thing, but I never go down to the office. This is going to be the new office, so
okay.
We're actually here waiting for them to move some office furniture in.
Nice.
So what? Listen. What we are going to talk about today. You and I had a good conversation before we went live. So many of these calls we get on and we talk about breaches,
technology, and all that stuff.
Yeah, but you had a really good idea, and I think this is going to be valuable for people. When you have a breach and it's real, and you need to call your insurance company, there's like 5 to 10, depending on your insurance company, there's like 5 to 10 different steps that are pretty much the same thing that happen every time. Mm-hmm. So if you're a business owner, or if you're you may not be the business owner, but maybe you're a manager, or maybe you're just the person that is identified as the person that has to deal with a breach, you should know what to expect. So we're going to take you through, I think we have 7 bullet points. There's 7 steps of what you should expect when you have a breach, but specifically as it pertains to dealing with your insurance company and the speed at which they move, what they do. By speed, I mean how many days it takes for them to move, because they move really slow. So pay attention closely to this. You're going to have a breach. 100% guarantee you're going to have a breach, because it's true. It's 100% guaranteed. If it's a bad one and you don't have detection in place, you're not able to respond, you're not able to contain and remediate, and it really goes the distance, this is where this part of this conversation kicks in. So Matt, what's the first thing that's going to happen? The customer or the
I mean, step number 1 is you got to call them or email or whatever the policy is for reporting a breach to your insurance company. You just got to let them know that you discovered a breach. Hopefully you have cyber insurance. Everyone should have cyber insurance. Your cyber insurance policy should have sent you either probably a 1-page PDF or just some form that basically tells you, in the event of a breach, here's what you do. A big tip: don't leave that on your computer. Print that out somewhere, because if you've been ransomware, you won't be able to get to it. We've had
common sense ain't so common. I hate to say it.
We've had that plenty of times where they weren't able to get to their insurance policies because they were all hard or all soft copy on a file server somewhere encrypted. But you want to follow the instructions, whether it's an email or a hotline or however that particular insurance company wants you to let them know.
Now, most of the people that we deal with, actually all of them, that have had breaches recently, and we've had to call the insurance company, they knew exactly who to call. You know who you're calling. Make sure you have their email address and their phone number. And really make sure everybody in your organization has it that could potentially need to be involved or need to make that phone call.
And
policy information.
The biggest thing I always tell people too is, like, when you're talking to your insurance company or lawyers or law firms or whomever, a lot of times less is more. Stick to the facts. Don't try to make up things of like what you think happened or anything like that. Basically, the call should go like this: My name is Bob. I work for XYZ company. My systems look like they have ransomware on them.
Yeah.
And it happened at 9:02 this morning.
Yeah, I mean, they're going to have all the questions that they're going to have a lot of questions for you. So when you make that call, just be prepared that they're going to. What's the next point that you have? I don't want to jump ahead.
I'm sorry. Review and follow your policy requirements.
Okay, so that's not what I was going to say. So
just
make sure that you have internally everybody that's going to be involved in it on your end when you make that call. One of the first things the insurance company is going to do is they're going to start a chain. They're going to start an email chain. They're going to bring a few other people in. They might bring in their own forensics firm. They're going to bring they're going to bring in a law firm.
Right.
So they're going to kick that call off on your end. Make sure that if you have, let's say you outsource your IT, you're going to want to have your managed IT service provider, your cybersecurity service provider. You're going to want to have everybody ready to go, and they're going to want to have their ducks in a row. What happened? What's the ransom they're asking for? What's the pathway that they gave us? Like, how are we communicating with them? We want to have all that ready.
And 100% of the time, they're going to bring a law firm in, and that law firm's going to start an email thread. And that thread is basically to protect you and your company, so that everything is privileged in the thread for further communications and or if there's lawsuits or anything that happens forward.
So now you had mentioned number 2 was
basically make sure you review and follow your requirements. Kind of, make sure you have your policy, understand what's covered, what's not covered. We were talking about before the call, we did one breach, and the insurance company just sent, $176,000 to the company to pay the Bitcoin ransom. We did a breach a week later, and the company had to send the money to be paid and then get reimbursed. So you got to kind of know where you are. Do you have to pay $65,000 up front, or do you only have to pay your deductible?
Yep.
It's a big stipulation. If your policy says you get reimbursed, can you afford that $176,000?
Sorry. Number three. What do you got?
You got to use, if you want to get reimbursed, approved vendors, or if you're using someone, make sure that they can get paid, or you can get reimbursed from your insurance company for their services. Last thing you want to do is bring in another company. They do 200 hours worth of work, and your insurance company won't reimburse you for them.
That's a big one. And we have not ever had it happen where the insurance company hasn't reimbursed us directly.
We haven't either, typically because we asked very early up front to get us approved, but you want to make sure that everyone that's working with them is approved to get some sort of reimbursement.
I will tell you something that happened recently, which was a new one. Mm-hmm. One of our recent breaches. The insurance company, in every case, other than this one, always pays the Bitcoin directly. They just send it to the wallet. One time we had the insurance company's like, we'll reimburse, you have to pay it.
Yep. Yeah, that's what I was just talking about.
We'll reimburse you. They weren't expecting that, because they had to actually they had to deal with it. They had to get the money, send it to the insurance company. It actually dragged it out an extra 2 days.
Yeah, you want to make sure you know what your coverage is there, because if you have to pay $100,000 in Bitcoin ahead of time, can you afford that?
That's very important. That's true. Especially small business that's running like pretty close to the break-even point. If that happens, that could put them out of business. You're right over there.
I gotta
give me your location. I'm gonna dial somebody to come over check on you.
I was sick 2 weeks ago, and I can't get rid of the cough.
That'll teach you to go on a cruise ship.
I know. It was a good time though. Number 4, and you know this because you're used to this from your systems. Document everything. Every person working on any task should be documented. Even if it's just rebooting a computer, sending an email, document it in your whatever system you use for documenting time and activities.
100%. We have it happen so many. Once you can't access your data, you're done. Like if you don't have critical data documented somewhere offline, like that's really an important fact to take away from this. Like your disaster recovery plan, your business continuity plan, they need to be printed out somewhere. Like even your incident response plan. If you just have it digital and everything's encrypted, you're screwed. Like it's gone.
Yeah, we did one like 6 months ago, and we got in and we're like, all right, well, we have your vendor phone tree, so we can start calling on vendors. And they were like, oh, well, that's on our file server, and their file server was ransomware. So we had to go through and basically the CIO pulled out 100 business cards out of a desk drawer, and we had to figure out which ones were still relevant.
Unbelievable.
To get a hold of people.
All right, number 5. Or was that 5?
That was 4. I think one of the things that people don't know is when you're dealing with your insurance company, a lot of them have what they call breach coaches. And really, a lot of times it's the attorneys that are working with you, but their job really is to guide you through the process. Make sure that the forensics team is doing their job, any kind of mitigation or recovery. They kind of act as your liaison between you and the insurance company. They also, like as I was saying earlier, help protect that privileged information so that in case there is lawsuits or anything going in the future, they're working with you. Yeah.
And one thing that happens that now you've already mentioned, we're calling the insurance company, they're calling the lawyers, calling a forensics firm they're probably going to bring in. One of the things that's happening while this is all going on, this has already gone on for days. By the time they sent out this email, they finally get all the information. Everybody's got to be copied and everybody's got to agree. It's a very long, drawn out, slow process. Your business is down the whole time.
Right.
And it's driving you nuts because one day goes by, 2 days goes by. You're like, just send them the money already. That's what people are really feeling.
Yeah, one of the last ones that you and I did, I think you and I were doing most of the work because it was time was money, and we were,
we negotiated the whole thing. We got them down from
125 down to like 65.
Yeah, because they didn't get any data. They only got 125,000. We had them down to 65. We were done with negotiations by the time the insurance company and everybody else got on the phone after 2 days, and they're like, "Okay, we're ready to negotiate." And we're like, "Well, we just finished."
Yeah, so we got on that initial phone call. We were like, "Well, we got them to 65. We're not going to get them any lower, so we might as well, just pay it."
So that sped things up. But in most cases, they don't have somebody like us. They could bring in somebody like us to actually work on their behalf, but. In any case, my point is that you should be prepared that there's going to be several days going by while your business is down. And
essentially what's going to happen is you're going to contact the insurance company. They're going to have to assign a claim agent or someone to take care of the claim. Then they're going to have to make contact with whomever they want to use for the law firm. And the law firm's going to have to contact the incident response and forensic firm. And then they're all going to have to, and they're not going to say, "Hey, let's set up a meeting in 5 minutes." They're going to say, "Hey," they're going to send an email out to everyone and be like, well, let's get together what's everyone's availability, and then people are going to put availabilities around, and it could be 12, 14, 16 hours.
Yeah. So you might want to step in if this is happening to you, and you want to be respectful because you have all these people that are helping you, but you really need to. There needs to be some voice of like, come on, we got to speed this up.
Right.
Let's pick up the pace here. We have
and that's a voice that the other Matt Rosenthal is good at. Matt Rosenthal will definitely tell people to speed up.
I was on a call today with one of our clients. I was on the call because our support team just needed an extra voice, and there's a third party involved, and this has been going on for 2 weeks. They can't solve the problem, and this guy's on the phone going through all these. He's talking so slow, it's driving me nuts, and he's going through all the same troubleshooting steps again. I go, hold on. I go, didn't you guys already do this? He's like, and my guy was like, well, yeah, we did do this. So I said, well, why are we going down the same path? This is 2 weeks already. But it was the voice that sometimes you need that voice on the call. It's like, guys, what are we doing here? Come on, why are we going in circles? Yeah.
So what's number 6? Number 6, after your own heart, mitigate further damage. Basically the containment, make sure your systems are isolated, find any vulnerabilities need to be patched. And then the one that everyone hates, but that's where the lawyers come in, is notify your stakeholders as required by law or policy, because different states have different rules, different compliances have different rules, and your law firm and your attorney will definitely know and work with you to identify if you need to report, who you need to report to, and then they'll draft up the appropriate letter or email that you're going to send to protect you and your organization. And that really is, worth all its money right there.
That's really
because you may not have to report. You might think you have to, but when the forensic team comes back and tells you what data was touched, you might not have to report. So it's
percent. And that's touchy. I mean, you don't want to. Look, we had a client. Remember the accounting firm we had that got hit like 3 years ago? He almost went out of business. I think he does like 600 tax returns. I mean, now he's even bigger because he bought somebody else. It's like double the size. But when they had their breach, he actually did have to send a letter out to all of his clients, and that's like your worst nightmare. Because they lose trust. And once you lose trust, it's not going back.
Especially when you're handling, other people's tax returns, money, personal data. I got a letter from an attorney that we used that they had been breached, and I like them. I feel good for them, but we're going to be looking for a new law firm here soon because, that's just how things go.
You got to take their security more seriously.
Yeah.
All right. I think number 7 is your last one.
It is. It's basically it's the end of the whole thing. So at the very end of the whole thing, you'll have to work with your insurance company to actually prepare and submit your claim for all the expenses you just incurred, because you're going to get expenses. The law firm is going to send you a bill. It's going to be a very itemized, detailed bill, probably down every 15 minutes. Incident response firms will send you a bill. If you do remediation with your MSP, you're going to get a bill from them. So you need to know what coverages you have, what your deductibles are, have you paid them already, and then any reports. They'll want copies of any incident details and reports that were generated. I can tell you that in my experience working a lot of these incidents, we try not to write very detailed reports anymore, mostly because of liability. So if somebody wants a super detailed report, I would question back and ask them why they want a really detailed report, and you just want it to be factual. Nothing in a report should be speculative. I can't get that word out. We've worked on enough of these reports together. Speculation, yeah.
Speculative.
We've worked on these enough together. You want it to be just 100% fact. No, if you can't prove it beyond a doubt, it doesn't go in.
You cut out. Say that one more time.
I said if you can't prove it without a doubt, it shouldn't go in the report.
That's really important because everything has to be facts and data driven. So that's what you can expect when you have a breach and you have to involve your insurance company. That's pretty much what happens, and it does take sometimes weeks. Find somebody in your company that's going to lead that effort, because you need somebody that's assertive, that's not afraid to push people.
Right. And I find from experience, people tend to cringe not cringe, but they tend to get nervous when talking to lawyers. Don't. They're just lawyers.
No, they're people. They're more manipulative than your average person. They are not so easy to talk to. But they're on your side in this case.
Yes.
I mean, they're not working against you; they're working with you.
Right.
But they are also trying to generate more work.
Yes.
I'm still getting emails from lawyers from breaches we dealt with 2 months ago. They still want to have more conversations. I'm like, I don't even answer them. There's nothing else to talk about. We're done.
Right. You're like, I thought we were closed. The biggest thing when you're doing is to work with the insurance company is you want to get the containment done and you want to get your systems back. All the rest of it, if you need to get that done in a couple of days' time, 48 hours, 72 hours. The rest of it, the reports, the after research can be done as needed, afterwards. But the containment and getting your systems back online and making sure that you're not susceptible to another breach are the 3 main things you want to get with your insurance company.
100%. So what's the most important thing? We don't want you to have a breach. So you go to this link down here, I'll give you a second to copy that, because I can't do a link in this image here. But if you go to that link, Matt and I came up with a free risk assessment a while ago. It takes you to a page, you fill in some information. If you answer the questions honestly, it gives you a very good idea of where your gaps are, where you might need to have some improvement, or where you have some weak spots. It doesn't cost anything, and it actually tells you any area that you didn't answer with a strong answer. It'll tell you what to do. It actually gives you all the steps. And if you're interested, hopefully you got this down. If you're interested in having us help you, then you can go here, which is our phone number, and you can send an email here. And we're happy to do a free consultation with you, and we'll talk with you about what you're doing and what you should be doing. And the most important thing is that you're preventing. You have all the preventative measures in place, but because you have 100% guarantee you're going to have a breach, you also need to have the response and containment measures in place, the detection in place, so that you can contain and you can respond quickly. So it's all very, very important. No business is too small. I got to use this. I still have people say to me, we're too small. It's not going to happen to us. It is complete bullshit. It's going to happen to you. It's going to happen to everybody. It doesn't matter if you're one person. We've had one person clients of ours, which we do have, our legacy clients, they've been breached. I
just had someone say that to me over the weekend, that they were too small to be breached. And I was like, okay, but you're not. But
yeah, if your business is not important to you, that would be the reason to do nothing that we're suggesting. Yeah. We're here to give you information. We're here to help you.
Yeah, and next week, maybe we should bring a report on it and kind of show the report a little bit that gets generated from that assessment.
Oh yeah, we can do that on the next one. That's actually a good one. Maybe the next one we'll go through it, and good idea, man. We'll do that next Monday.
I get one a week, one good idea a week. Now I've used up. Now I'm done for the week, so I might as well.
What's today? Today's Monday. Use it up. But you know what? It's only a 3-day week, so you're okay.
But what's this 3-day week? Something weird's going to happen on Thursday and Friday, and I'm going to.
There's going to be a breach. It's going to be one of those people that says we're too small. Thursday, they're going to call us up like, hey, we got a breach.
I've worked the last, well, not me technically, but someone on my team has worked the last 4 Thanksgivings in a row. So.
All right, let's put this back up one more time in case anybody wants to do us. All right, Mr. Matt, we kept it to exactly 20 minutes, which is the original plan.
Very good.
That was a good one.
Yep.